You are now listening to the sounds of
Hey guys, it's Moush here. Welcome back to another episode of House Ho. Today is a very, very special episode for me. It is the 1 year anniversary of when I started this podcast. So we've been doing it for a year. I can't believe House Ho is 1 year old. I mean, my little baby has just grown so much. And we have, this is episode 30. 30 episodes. I really didn't think I was going to make it past fucking 3 because it took me literally 3 different times to even record episode number 1. So just know that good things come if you just keep at it. But yeah, I'm happy that I've been keeping at this podcast. It started with, being a place for me to come and report about my art and be accountable. And it's become part of my life, and that those elements are just important things that I want to think about every day. Like, what am I being accountable for? What are my responsibilities to myself, and to the world and to the people around me? And how can I express all of that through my art? So this has been I'm so happy that I have this medium to use and express my art further. And if you've been listening for all of these episodes, oh my God, thank you so much for putting up with me and for coming back and subscribing and just giving me amazing feedback that you guys have been. I'm just completely humbled by it. So if also you have been with me this entire time, or if you've just joined us, you know that I have been working on a coloring book this entire time. It's been something I've constantly been reporting to you guys on and trying to talk about the progress and where we're at, and it's out. I'm so happy. It's 12 pages of my original art, and I'm so proud of it. The link is in the description of this podcast, and you can also find it on Amazon, but go to animushmedia.com if you would like a copy. And the feeling of having that project grow and develop, and now, it's done, but there's so many more things that I want to do with it. I really have to thank, I guess, this podcast for making me continue to move forward in my art. It's really easy if you are a entrepreneur or an artist that is doing other creative projects for other people, or just if you have other responsibilities in your life, and it's easy to put that creative project off, but it's something that's really important to me. And for a lot of my life, it was kind of I knew I was an artist, but I don't think I was taking myself seriously to the point where I should have been. And now I do. So thank you all for just being along this journey with me. I'm super grateful and very thankful for each and every one of you, and especially all of you that have been supporting me through this entire journey. So it's given me purpose. I'm hoping that this coloring book and my art can continue to heal by example. That's what I intend to continue to do with this podcast and some other projects that will be auxiliary to this. But healing and creating by example, and just having a space where it's no pressure and that you can just be a creative person. I hope that's what you feel coming in and listening to this podcast every week or every other week. But I promise to try to be a little bit more consistent. Yeah, I'm giving you permission to make a mess and just be your authentic self. So without further ado, let's actually get into this episode. It's not going to be just me talking the whole time. I have just the most fantabulous guest. The vibes are immaculate. Every time I see him, every time I hear him talk, every time he's over, Usama Siddiquee, you know him from America's Got Talent. You know him from Inventing Anna. If you're watching Inventing Anna and you remember the guy who owned the private jet company, that's our boy, okay? That's our boy, and he's on all of the streaming platform, anywhere. Think of any platform that you're like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. He's probably on there. Look him up. He's got 2 podcasts, Why Do Guys and Mango Bae. He's an absolute fucking delight.
Please welcome to the podcast, Usama Siddiquee.
Hell yeah, dude.
What's up?
Welcome back to the podcast.
Whoa.
This is House Ho.
Oh, wait. I was not prepared for that title. What? House Ho?
I didn't tell Usama the name of the podcast before I asked him to come on, but welcome back, host.
This is Thought Sluts. This is gutter thinkers with Ani. That was with my mind. I love it.
It is House Ho. I am your hostess, Ani Moush. We spell it differently here, though. It's H-A-U-S, H-A-U-X.
Okay, House Ho.
Yeah, House Ho. So,
German.
You know, it's where the crazy motherfuckers come to talk.
Yes.
And really just talk about what we're doing in our art and all that kinds of stuff. So, welcome back. We have Usama Siddiquee here today.
Hello, I'm an Ani fan.
Dude.
Could not pass up.
Are you kidding me? That's the biggest compliment I've ever received.
Huge Ani fan.
Shut the
always
fuck
giving good
up.
energy. Always making me tea. Actually, the tea.
It's mostly the tea.
Mostly the tea.
It's mostly the tea.
No, Ani, I met you when I came here for the first time, and you're fucking always a good vibe, good
Thank
hang,
you.
good,
Dude.
good everything. Just a good soul.
Thank you
and
so
I don't know
much.
if it's because your parents were amazing or the worst. One of the two.
We'll get into it.
But you're right. Because if you're this sweet, it means your parents were either like, in UNESCO building houses for orphans, or they were both molesting you every day. No in between with someone like Ani.
Calm be, you know what I'm saying? Guys, we have Usama Siddiquee here. I didn't properly introduce you. He is, first of all, one of the funniest people I've ever met. Deadass.
Bitch.
Deadass.
Bitch.
Irish and I will literally text each other about you.
Shut
and
up.
How funny you are.
Irish.
I know. Get the fuck
Dude,
in.
Irish looks like he hates everybody. His energy is that he hates everybody. All of a sudden, he's texting about me, bitch.
He doesn't hate everybody.
No. Irish's vibe is like, if you died, I wouldn't care.
No.
Irish is a
Just
good vibe.
because he's a Viking? Just because he's a Viking? That's what. Oh, now we're discriminating against Vikings?
Dude, Irish is the fucking best.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's
But
that's why y'all are gonna survive because
thank you.
Because you can tell the shitty one in a relationship, and I'm always going between both of y'all. Which one's the shittier one? And so that means it's gonna survive, I think.
That means the world to both of us. You have no idea.
No, I mean, dude, y'all are just good energy. It's and when people have good energy, you can always tell in a room who has the giving energy.
It is true.
And it's like
It
once you
is
click
true.
into that, because I think when you, especially in New York, if you're someone who is just, starts with the good energy, it just means that you've been through some shit. Because the only way, self-awareness is only brought through pain and shit situations.
100%.
And that's what it is. Really.
Yeah.
And I think when you have hardship, you can go two ways. Either you become more of a jaded person, or you go the other way, where it's more light, more good energy.
Yeah.
And that, when I see someone who just immediately, without asking, just gives it,
Thank you.
I just know that y'all have been through some shit, and it's like, it's easy to talk to y'all.
Thank you, dude. I mean, right back at you, dude. It's always been very smooth. We love having you here. Whenever you're here, we're always very excited that someone's having you on.
Is that so Irish? I didn't know.
This is true. You passed the test.
Passed the vibe test.
Pass the vibe test here at Too Much Content, dude. And let me just tell you how much that all means. Usama has been on America's Got Talent.
Oh, God.
He's been on Netflix. He's been on any like show or channel or streaming platform that you're like, oh yeah, like he's been on that. He's been on that.
Yeah.
Very talented individual, and it does not go unnoticed. You have two very hilarious podcasts.
Thank you so much.
But one specific Mango Bae episode that I would love to talk to you about.
What up? I'm scared. There's a lot of weird shit out there.
Okay, Mango Bae is one of your podcasts, right?
Yes.
It's very popular,
Yes.
hysterical.
Thank you.
I'm talking about it a lot. And you have this episode where your dad, for the first time, heard your podcast.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, because I'm guessing you have daddy issues, and this is gonna be working.
Daddy issues is not how I would describe it.
Okay.
But
That's a 90s term. Daddy issues also is so offensive to the woman. It's like, you have daddy issues?
it's more of, I have foreign parents, right? So I'm
Right.
Armenian.
Armenian, oh God.
And my dad was born abroad. He's
Right.
a refugee. He came here, waited 8 years with his family in a
Holy
tent.
shit. Okay.
We get the whole story. My
Right.
grandfather's a genocide survivor,
Holy
so
shit.
all that shit. And so expectations.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? And we've invested in you.
Make this genocide worth it. I get it.
It's like, did they walk through Syria so you could fuck off in New York? What are you doing? You know what I mean?
I get their point.
Well, that's
You
not
know,
even.
you don't see your your cousin
Yeah.
murdered by gunshot and
Yeah.
be like, and then have your like 2 generations be like, I want to be a dancer. It's like, bitch,
Well,
what? I get it.
and I want to be clear. They're very supportive now. Very supportive
Okay,
now.
awesome.
They get it a lot more. But
Right.
it's always great to talk to someone else that sort of understands.
Okay, amazing.
And there's accountability and diversity that we talk about, and especially in our art on this podcast. So I wanted to sort of ask you, you're obviously very successful. How was it more adversity to face maybe in your home life and parents and family, or was it very easy to go into sort of what you've been doing now in comedy and acting?
I got you. It was very the idea of like my parents being very strict was very there.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I could have done this was if I left that environment, and it was. So the moment I told them I was gonna do comedy, I fucked in New York immediately.
Where are you from originally?
Dallas.
Dallas.
Where am I
Texas.
from? Okay. Nice. Nice, honey.
I hail from Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. Don't have a Texas accent or Southern accent, or at all.
You tried that? That was more Armenian than anything. Ani Mushzakian or whatever fucking last name she's really got. Mushazakian?
Very close. Literally so like one consonant
For real?
off.
What's your full?
Mushigian.
Yeah, come on.
So fucking
The
close.
fuck? I know your people.
The G and the Z.
There was so much genocide, only one last name survived. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's all...
Well, Moush was actually a province that was lost in the genocide too.
Oh, shit.
So what's crazy is like, I don't get this a lot now, but
Whoa.
people are like, why do you go by Ani Moush? Because Mushigi and the IAN at the
Yeah.
end is what makes it Armenian. So it's like
Whoa.
son of, but Moush I almost think is more powerful.
That is very
you know?
powerful. That's crazy, but that's like if a German guy was named like Hans Auschwitz. It's like, oh, just to keep the memory alive. I got you.
So fucking crazy, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been a lot of unless I left the situation. I don't know if your parents live in New York or not, but I had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I revealed that I wasn't doing med school the day before I was going to leave.
Hold on, roll that back.
Yeah.
Roll that the fuck back. All right, what year are we in? What the fuck is going on? You were going to med school?
Yeah, I was 8 years ago. I finished college. I was going to go to med school.
8 years ago.
Yeah. So I got in right at Texas A&M. I was going to go be a fucking pediatrician. The whole deal.
Shut the
Yeah,
fuck
this
up.
is for real. Yeah.
Oh, I love this
The-
story.
the-
I'm so excited right now.
The level of surprise makes me feel like I'm retarded.
No. I'm relating so
You?
much. I'm relating so much.
A profession?
I have 2 degrees.
Oh.
I have a master's degree. I was a college professor.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Where at?
Multiple universities.
Jesus, where at?
Actually, 5 different universities in
Holy fuck.
Boston.
How old are you? 95?
I'm 30.
30?
Yeah.
You're tenured?
Not
Tenured,
tenured. That was
okay,
adjunct. That
okay.
was adjunct. Come on.
Jesus Christ.
So it was 8 years ago. You were
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to go to med school, Texas A&M. I got in. I did the MCAT, everything. I was going to go,
Wow.
and I was going to leave to do it because I'd done comedy for like a year in New York, or 2 in a year, 2.5 years, 2 years in Dallas. Sorry, very cursory.
You didn't tell anyone.
My friends knew, but not my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna just be like, because when you're a minority and you find something you love, you're like, white people find their thing here, and they're like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. This is my ultimate thing. We find our passion. We're like, what a fine side hustle that I just found. Like, this is I can't wait to do this on the side now in my life. This thing that I love more than anything. Is it hitting it for you, Ani?
Wow. I'm gonna cry during this podcast. Please write this timestamp down.
I mean, this is our life.
No,
right?
this is very true.
Because
it's all
we
true.
dare not believe
Yeah.
in our thing, right? And that's just what it is, right?
It's how can you make money from that?
Right. And it's you realize how deeply it's ingrained in the way the parents raised you. Like it's brainwashed, right? In a certain sense, right?
Yeah.
Because it's how we think.
Right.
And I watched this documentary called Jiro Dreams of Sushi, where Jiro talks about the idea of getting better at something is just the idea.
Yeah.
Who cares about all I'm trying to do is getting to the mountaintop, and if I get there, yes. If I don't, who cares? But that's what my life is going to be. That
Yeah.
is getting to a mountaintop, as opposed to buying that mountain, or
Yeah.
not why climb the mountaintop? Why? the idea is climbing the mountain is the thing.
Yeah.
It is the joy. The doing is the reward. And that's a very not minority thing in America.
Yeah.
Minority in America is very acquire this thing so we can have a better life. So we undo the shit of our past.
Because someone took something from you.
Right.
So that's a natural response.
right.
I wouldn't even fault anybody for that. And in fact, it probably does drive you more to be better at that thing that
Right.
people don't want you to be
Right.
that good at.
But I get it.
know?
I'm a snot-nosed 23-year-old, right? You think it's cool when, I be like, fuck you, Dad. Hey, you were like the poorest guy on earth. Well, I'm going to go be that, but with a passion.
Yeah.
It's like, it's insane. They want something because they had nothing, right?
Yeah.
And they can understand why you would want nothing. It's like, dude, we did a lot of stuff so you wouldn't do this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, you came here so you could have a better life. This is the better life.
Yeah.
They don't get that. This is the better life. You struggled so I can follow my dream.
Right.
In what era was that ever okay?
Literally, this is the only one.
Right? But in caveman times, you don't want to club. I want to pick berries. No, you're clubbing.
There were outcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, like, literally anybody who was like, I'm going to go do this, they were like, look at that fucking loser.
You're a fucking
Stone
loser.
him.
Yeah. If you were like, I'm more of a berry picker, they're like, you're more of a homosexual.
Yeah,
We're gonna
legit.
kill you. We're gonna stone you right now. And that's how the Stone Age started.
Yeah.
It was a very homophobic moment. They piled the stones together. It made a tool. They're like, what is that? I feel like if you combine these stones, something cool can happen.
Fuck, dude.
It was the Stoning Age for 13 seconds.
I
and then it
mean-
became the Stone Age.
It's crazy. It's funny now because, like, when I... How do I even describe this
Go into
fucking
it. I feel
story?
like, yeah.
When I first told my dad that I was doing anything comedy related, we were
Right.
in an airport and we were going on a family vacation
Or at.
and we were going to Ireland of all places. We're fucking Armenian. And we were going to Ireland for Thanksgiving because we don't want to be around our family.
So you're choosing the one place where like they wouldn't even come for food.
Yeah.
They're like, they wouldn't even maybe come here. Because the
no
food
chance. No fucking chance, dude. It's awesome. We love doing that on Thanksgiving.
That's fucking hilarious.
But we're-
Wait. Your family sucks? Or is it like,
No, like, I mean,
there's too much?
it's a lot. Yeah. I mean, people butt heads, you know what I mean? And
get
so
it. I get
there
it.
are some holidays that we are all together, and there are some holidays that we are not.
I get you.
And
I
that's
get you.
fine.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's what we call actual holidays.
Yeah.
When we're not. I feel you. I totally feel you.
Yeah. I mean, so we were sitting in the airport, and I was recording it, and maybe I'll even insert it
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Where I was like, Dad, I want to tell you I'm
do
doing
comedy
comedy.
now.
And like he kind of just half was like,
Yeah, oh, God.
Okay.
do you make any money?
He
open mics,
He
like-
changed your flight. Like, anywhere. You're going to your family now.
And like from that, dude, it was just from that moment. I mean, I felt like a wall came down with him. It
that's
was
crazy.
It was a good thing.
But, like, so that Irish trip was good.
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
fucking
I
awesome.
ended up doing like a random open mic in Ireland, and I didn't have to lie to my parents. It was
That's
cool.
fucking amazing. And did they come?
I didn't want them to come.
I got you.
I
I got
didn't
you.
want
It was
them
like
to
at some
come.
pub, right? You did
Yeah,
I love it. I love
just
it.
like picked up. It was a sign outside, like open mic until
yeah.
and I was like, "Fuck, no one knows me here." Like, I just go do it.
I love that.
But like that was the most freeing thing when I told him, and he wasn't like, "What the fuck?" You know
That's
what
amazing.
I mean? Like,
Is there a place that says cunt more than an Irish open mic? That's got to be like out of all the worldly places on the globe. If you want to hear the word cunt like a lot, seems like Irish open mic is where
that
you
or come here.
cunt, 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 cunt.
I was, dude. Also, by the way, so in the same Mango Bae episode,
Yeah.
in which I'm feeling all of these
Yeah, and
feelings,
it's a lot. It's a powerful moment. For
It
sure.
is. I'll link it in this description of this podcast.
Yeah.
You were like, well, I was first afraid for my dad to listen
Yeah.
because you talk a lot about dad cum.
Yeah.
And that has to be the name of your first fucking special, is Dad Cum with the Dad Cam.
It's the only way. Dad come with the dad cam. It's so true. It's so true because it's the scariest thing for me.
It's like your diary. And you're like, my dad is fucking reading my diary. This is so embarrassing.
My mom doesn't really get English. My dad gets too much English.
Oh no!
So when I'm like, wasn't it crazy when you fuck your dad and you're like, one more dad before you go to work? And that's like an ironic joke. But my dad's not like, oh, the irony. He's like, what the fuck is this?
He He's like, you are going to be a doctor.
Yeah. I will personally call my uncle. But he's not, when I'm doing like tongue-in-cheek bits about like, fuck my dad, to, and a shock, to be a little bit of an imp,
Yeah.
My dad isn't going like, oh, I love the hyperbolic nature of this. He's really going for it. I love the craft. It's like, no, why does my son want to fucking, what the fuck is, like, that's what's happening, right? And so I can't enjoy that. I can't love that. But then I realized, luckily, that we Patreon the first 20.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all the dad cummy ones were gone.
Oh, whew.
And
Thank God.
thank the Lord, because
Yeah.
we were just going crazy. It was just getting, oh,
So
God.
this is even funnier.
Right.
So we go back to 8 years ago when only your friends knew and like your parents didn't know yet. Like, what was the moment that you kind of like came out?
I came out as a
comic
gay
to
comedian.
them.
It was that day. That was a real come out. It was the day before I left to medicine.
Wow.
To med school. I had decided after seeing Jiro Sushi that I wasn't gonna do medicine. That speech from Jiro was like, all right, I'm fucking in this now. Mm-hmm. I went downstairs and I just, they're ready. They're all happy. 777s on the fucking brown kid. Right? What else would a brown parent want than a kid going to med school? I mean, it was just everything that
Do
my
you have
dad.
a stethoscope on?
Just to drive it home. And then I touched them. I'm like, I feel anger.
The prescription pad is, I'm not going.
I'm going to prescribe Shitty Sun, taken by mouth. Once a day for the rest of your life. It was rough. I walked in. I was like, I'm not going to do med school. They're like, they laughed. Classic, like in a cinema, right? They're like, ha, ha, ha. Anyway,
Funniest joke.
Back to cricket.
Yeah.
Right? Funniest joke. 10 on 10. And I'm like, no, I'm really not doing it. I'm going to go do comedy. And they're like, what? My dad was like, just could not believe it. He's like, what are you talking about? When I started becoming obvious that I was real, he had that single dad tear, that real manly, like, I just want to do to help people.
Oh.
My mom started throwing pots and pans. She went straight to
my
the
God.
kitchen. The hard ones, that had tetanus in them. You know what I'm saying? She hadn't used this to cook anything in years. It was just the rust, right? She's throwing rust at me, right? Oh my God, just launching plates. It was fucking bad. It was bad. She was crazy that day. And she was like, how could you do this? What the fuck are you doing? You're going to go be a fucking, prostitute out there. That was the only thing that they assumed would happen in New York.
Yeah.
Everyone's a prostitute.
Yeah.
It's just New York Times, and it's prostitution up there.
Yeah.
And I just had to stood my ground. I'm like, no, I'm doing this.
Wow.
And it was really bad when I left. It was like a negative situation. They got with it later. Once you give the distance,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, I'm sorry. Because then they start feeling their leg go numb. They're like, diabetes. I might die without ever seeing him again. And they start being like, okay, how do I not do this? How do I not have this happen? Okay, be nice for once in your goddamn life.
Have a bland apology.
The apology is, did you eat? Yeah. I got you, honey. Come on. Irish could never know this shit. He's just not going to understand. Irish is what? 2 white parents?
Dude.
From what? From Minnesota? Where are you from? Where are you from, Irish?
My dad's from Pennsylvania. My mom's from the South.
Oh,
but I was born in Germany.
South though, right? That's a different little stamp.
I was saying that the other day, that the South seems to have the same not common denominator, but as far as attitude and politeness and like being a good person, you know, that is more important.
I think so. And
You
the
know?
South also is like behind the times in terms of like homophobia, but also child abuse, right? So there's like a little bit of like, I would assume the Irish might have gotten beaten a little bit growing up. Germany though, I'm not sure. Who knows? But the idea is like,
They've done worse.
They've done. Yeah, right. Right. Who are you talking about exactly? Merkel, right? With her inflationary policies? Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's got to be the Nazi who's like trying to like not talk about Nazism. Germany's done some wrong things, especially in the federal bank reserves. It's like, wait, what? That's the main thing? But yeah, I mean, you know how it is, right? With fucking foreign parents, it's like very much like,
Fear of God.
fear of God.
Yeah.
Fear of God.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you did, it seems like.
Yeah. I think it made me funnier. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like if there's like so much darkness, if you have a parent that is angry
Right.
or just has any tendencies,
Right.
PTSD, any of that, you have to find the light because they're just like a cloud. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if you experienced that, but I don't, or any family members, but like that's just when you go through that over and over, and even in like your social life too.
Right.
It's not just family, but like you have to find like the little bit to survive.
That's 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of energy without what you were saying before, the accountability. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
anyone parent ever in their lives has been like, my bad, ever. It's like, that is just the most fantastical word.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Ever, right? So there's no accountability. There's no accountability whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they get to run wild because their idea is like, I've done so much for you.
Yeah, my mom thought she was a bad mom. I went at at one point she's like, I feel like I failed as a mother. I'm like, why? I'm so fucking happy. What do you mean? I'm doing what I want to do every day.
Tears.
What?
Tears everywhere.
Like, what?
I don't know what it is. There's a lot of intensity there. There's
Yeah.
a lot of intensity with the
Yeah.
parents. And, they did do a crazy thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how good your parents' English is.
Yeah, very good.
Very good,
Very
right?
good.
So they knew what they were doing when they came here.
Well, yeah, my dad had to learn English here.
Okay,
Like,
right.
they taught in public schools, they taught him Latin before they taught him English, which makes no fucking
Where?
sense.
In Armenia?
No, in Watertown public schools. You're listening. Like that's where his family came, and then they taught in elementary school. Someone who knows zero English.
Yeah.
They're like put him in Latin and
Holy
then
fuck.
ESL, which makes no sense.
That's crazy.
So like, how would you communicate to know your task work or anything?
God.
Like what the
He
fuck?
can only understand English or languages when they're in church. Like he's Gregorian chants. He's like, I finally know what's going on. That's crazy. That's a fucking crazy dude.
Yeah.
So how do you learn English?
You like try to read like the
Yeah.
newspaper.
Ah,
And-
what?
Yeah, and
Your
like
dad
magazines.
seems very wild. He's
oh
like,
yeah,
like a badass. Truly.
Yeah, he truly is.
My dad too. He knows perfect Russian, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he, during the Cold War, they did all this, brain drain from all these countries
Yeah.
because they wanted to give scholarships to Indians. And my dad's Bengali and Calcutta, and they're like, before America gives you a scholarship, let's get this guy.
Oh shit.
So they would. A lot of Indians went to either America or
Russia.
the Soviet Union, right?
Huh.
So during Brezhnev's time, he was there and he learned Russian.
Wow.
And now he's knows perfect Russian. Like imagine a guy who looks like he sells bananas on the side of 6th Street. You know that guy? He looks like that. He looks like that. Wearing a lungi, oversized shirt. He knows perfect Russian. It's insane.
Oh my god. Has he used it like at all?
He has friends that he Zooms and Zoom calls.
Wow.
He's a fucking genius, dude. My dad's a genius.
Hell yeah. Dude, did you want to be a doctor? Like truly?
I was good at it, right? I was good
Did you
at
like science?
good at science.
Okay.
I was good at inputting information and utilizing it critically, right? But which is
fantastic
That's
for
all-
comedy.
right.
Yeah.
Take something in. You're a gay bitch. I critically thought, and my answer is
My thesis statement is you suck.
you suck. Balls. My dad's like, this is what you're using my intellect for, genetically. Thank you. But that's it is. How can I describe this? It's like with the intellect that you get, it's you have a service to yourself to do what is gonna make you the most growth.
Yeah.
Because doctor would not have given me growth. I would have been good, but I wouldn't have grown as much as I do now because I'm not in congruence with my loves and my passions. Right? So
Yeah.
you'd be sufficient and you'd be proficient and you'd do a lot of good in the world. But the highest level you could achieve in this life would not be
Yeah.
even remotely available to me if I didn't go the route of my heart. Right?
Understanding that is so hard. It takes you so long
Yeah.
to get that. Like I did professional interior design and architecture for 10 years.
What the fuck?
That was
Are
my
you-
life
you
before
were
this.
everything. So you were a professor,
Yeah.
interior designer.
Yeah.
Were you an assassin too? I mean, what job did you not have?
I can't say that on my
Can't say
podcast.
that. Armenian assassin.
Spy.
Spy.
But like doing that, I'm like, I'm good at this thing. I can even teach this thing.
Right.
I can like create this, whatever.
I love it.
But
You made this because if
Yeah.
you're, that's fucking amazing.
yeah,
I just
and
realized I'm just all putting it all.
I
together.
would love like if I had to pick like one type of design now, it would be set design for sure.
That's amazing.
Now that I've done it for podcasting and
Right.
on multiple people, and also I did Guys We Fucked their I was their art director.
That's insane.
I designed their set, and
I
I
love it.
built the entire thing 3 times that day myself.
Holy shit.
And I would do it again for anybody who wants to hire me for their comedy special.
I love it. Because some of these comedy specials be looking like trash out here.
Trash, dude.
It's like a cavern and a stage. There's like 9 miles of stage between. What am I watching here?
Dude, and if you want to... This is where I love to intertwine the study of comedy and what, like, your previous, like, knowledge, right?
Sure.
We watched the Carlin documentary.
Sure.
So 4 hours of that, and
Yeah.
now we've been going through each special, and I have been studying his sets for each one because they make sense with what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like the Live from New Jersey, or Why Am I in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Is that the one? It literally looks like a junkyard.
Yeah.
You know what I
He's
mean?
very specific with it.
Very specific. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it being HBO or whatever. They're like, we'll have this extra, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the artist is the artist and they want things a particular way.
I like that. I think auteur is an interesting word because any real artist has auteur-like vibes, you know? Because, you know, comics, think about your directing, your writing, your performing. This is 3 arts, you know, that you are, you know, you're editing, you're revising.
So many.
You know, you're doing every art
Your
in
brain
performance.
is like,
right. Right. For years it's been, you know, like in a cartoon, they lightning hits and then they become like soot, right? That's me for 20 years.
Just,
I'm soot. My brain is soot.
but it's the journey and I love it.
I love the journey. It's like you're on fire. You're on fucking
This is
fire.
fine. It's like the meme. This is fine.
Yeah. Literally on fire. I think that's fucking amazing that you have that kind of talent.
Thank you.
And it's amazing if you're utilizing it, everyone should. I bring in my knowledge of South Asian culture because I grew up South Asian.
Yeah.
I bring in my knowledge of extensive dating because I did that shit with my other podcast. And it's like, that's fucking amazing that you have that, you know. Because comedy is fun. Jokes about jokes are not fun. What do you want to be, just an O2 comedian, you know, who's fucking just from that era?
Yeah.
Where the joke's about the joke. And it's like, bro, there's so much more interesting to hear about the thing
Yeah.
that you know about.
Exactly. And
Right.
like everybody has their particular passions that keep them accountable.
Right.
That make them move forward. That make them like wanna be on the journey and not kill themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like lack of passion, you're not moving
You're not
forward.
moving forward. Tim Allen, bro. Before he had Home Improvement, he was a 2-bit nothing comedian. Had a couple bits, middler, for years, 40s, nothing.
Yeah.
Started talking about power tools. Talking about like shit that he likes around the house.
Yeah.
His parent, his wife, while he's like fixing shit around the house, immediately within like a year got a show called Home Improvement, one of the most famous shows of all time. So once you start going to your own thing, all of a sudden everyone's like,
Yeah.
but before that, nothing. It's powerful.
Yeah.
I can see you as a fucking like bad bitch, interior designer, HGTV, you know?
Oh man.
Like
if I could have
I'm Ani, and I am the asshole Armenian of the suburbs or something. And you go in, you're like, what the fuck is this? The fuck is this?
I wanna
I can see you.
transform podcast studios.
I can see it.
For HGTV if you're listening, I
Yeah.
guess. Or TLC, I'll take
Yeah.
that. The learning channel.
I can see you there.
All right. Give me something where I can take comics
Yeah.
or somebody funny, whatever,
Right.
entertaining, and design their podcast studio or their
Hmm.
content studio. Too much content, if you will. You're giving me ideas now. I don't know.
Whoa.
Someone would probably watch that.
The pivots on this.
Yeah, I don't know. But fuck. This is my mind is still blown that like, oh wow. Okay, so wait, what's how
Go
react
for it,
because
go
I
for it,
want to
go
be
for it. No,
appropriate.
you good.
No, we have a few minutes. But so you get to New York.
Right.
You said, fuck med school, dude.
Yes.
I love laughter. I'm going to New York.
Truly.
And you're grinding every day.
Absolutely. No money, doing like 3 to 4 shows a night. Not shows, mics,
Yeah.
you know, open mics. And just hustling as hard as possible. Right. I'm living, you know, in nothing, no money, just nothing. Just, you know, have not vibe. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? Every day I'm doing my passion. 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. every day. I'm fucking doing it. I'm doing the shittiest mics. I'm going to Bay Ridge on some weekdays.
Probably the same amount of work that you put in to get into med school, but
yeah.
it doesn't even feel like it.
That was the main thing. I was like, make sure, I was like, when I came to New York on this plane ride, I was like, let me make sure I put in the same work I would into med school, into this thing, because that would be a disservice to my life.
Yep.
If I didn't go in as hard as I would with a different path. And it's been the most rewarding. I mean, also most scary, bro. Every day is pain. Yeah. Every day is pain. Every day is pain.
Every day.
Every day. I'm looking at my calendar. I don't have 9 spots that day. I'm like, they're past me. It's over.
But isn't it that no matter what?
Dude.
It's finding the things that are like satiating you, or like, you know,
Right.
just you're okay, I did this, I feel good, and like that was the purpose of today.
Right.
You know?
Right. You're right that no matter where you are, the anxiety's coming in. So how about
Yeah.
you do it about something you care about?
Yeah.
That's fucking smart as fuck.
I mean, it took me till today.
Chill right this moment. Hello.
Yeah, but for real though, it does take you like a real long time, and I say that getting out of the space, like you can't heal in the same place that made you sick.
Right.
And that
Whoa.
Yeah, that's one of my things.
Then you would never take a shit in the place you had diarrhea. Okay. Wow. So Ani, what do you happen when you have your first diarrhea here? You shit at the Target from now on? When you have diarrhea there, then you just keep minusing one toilet from your life. Until what? Where does it end, Ani?
It's a hole
Until
in
you're
the ground.
until you're shitting in a hole. In fucking Armenia,
6 feet under.
you're shitting on a corpse.
I am the corpse. I don't even know where we are now, but like just getting out of that place that like where you routinely were going towards a goal that you're like, this isn't satisfying me.
Right.
I could be as good of a designer as I want. If it's not satisfying me and I'm not happy every day, then who fucking cares?
Right.
Doesn't matter. The accolades don't matter.
Right, of course. You realize once you start getting up, like life is, it's happening.
Yeah.
You're in this bitch.
Yeah.
And every day is the day. You're not going for a different life. You're not preparing for a different. When I get all these spots, my life will really begin.
Right.
Buddy, it's here. It's happening.
So when did you feel like it began? Like when did you feel like was your first like this? I'm fucking doing it. Oh, I got this show or this gig.
Sure. It's when I came to New York, I was like, I am now in the place where I can get better. Mm-hmm. I'm here.
Yeah.
Everything else is a bonus. I am a man doing comedy, the favorite thing in the world, in the place where it's known to be the best. It's like, what?
Fuck yeah.
How many people get that opportunity? It's like, fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. It's all bonus
But
now.
all it took was you getting on a plane.
Yeah.
Like
The choice.
anybody can do that.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
It's just we create our own blocks in our brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
crazy.
mean, not everybody being successful at it, but if
Yeah.
you want to give it a go, like anyone can do
And
it.
I'm saying this to everybody except rapists. I don't want to inspire you. Hey, just go for it. This is your passion. I'm just for that.
Serial killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Child molesters, don't listen to skip this part. Child molesters.
Oh, my goodness. So you're doing it and you're healing, like, and now 8 years later, you have all of these things that you've done. Like, I mean, what were some of your favorite moments of things that you've accomplished?
I mean, it's really, I don't know if it's an immigrant thing, but I just don't dwell on anything like that.
I know. It's
get something.
Jantelagen.
I know. What's that?
Jantelagen.
What's that?
That is the Swedish law of Janta, where they basically they're like, show what you're good at, don't boast about what you're good at.
Oh my
You know what I
God.
mean?
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Jantelagen, the law of Janta.
Jantelagen.
Yes. I'll show you something afterwards. And I talk about this often on my podcast.
Yeah.
So sorry for everyone who's heard me talk about this literally 30
I love
times.
it.
But if you go on Netflix and you look at the docuseries, This Is Pop, episode number 3,
Okay.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Sure.
They talk about all of the producers that made basically the soundtrack of the 90s.
Okay.
Like any producer that was involved with like Britney Spears or Backstreet Boys, or all these people.
Oh, Swedish.
And like where they are now, half of Childish Gambino is a Swedish producer,
Right.
Ludwig.
So this Ludwig guy, how'd they do it? Why did it become that? I've heard about this. That Swedish people make every top 40 hit. It's like it's a duo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duo. Ludwig and Haggis or
And
something.
what's his name? Donald Glover.
Yes.
Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. This is America. That beat was made by Ludwig Göransson, and they kind of were talking about in this docu-series episode that the common denominator is like none of these Swedes wanted to like talk about who they worked with. Like they just, their art was doing it.
Oh.
I
love
humility. You know what I mean?
Let me. I add a word here. Mm-hmm. Sprezzatura. Have you heard of this?
Sprezzatura.
Sprezzatura is the idea. So Sprezzatat, Sprezzatura. So Sprezzatura.
Okay.
It's the idea of something that's very hard, making it look easy. Mm-hmm. So like really good comics, they look like they're just talking. Mm-hmm. That's called Sprezzatura.
Wow.
Throw another
That's the name of this episode.
Sprezzatura. Ooh, I just want to throw another lofty asshole word. In there. Have you ever heard of Yontelagen? You can't even say that without sounding
It's
like
a fucking beer.
complete asshole. Yeah.
Can I get 2?
Yontelagen. I love it.
Yeah, dude. It's like 10 commandments, basically.
I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like, just do the thing.
Just do the thing.
Stop yelling about it. Just do it. It'll be a reward in itself. If your reward is getting pats on the back by people saying you're awesome, eventually the pats are gonna get softer and less frequent. So fucking figure out what makes you feel like you're patting yourself on the back, and then just go for that. With every ounce of your being.
Hell yeah. I'm going to do our last segment here because that feels like a good place to wrap this up. So I have one segment, and it's our accountability segment where I give my report of what I've done for my art this week, and then you can manifest anything that you would like to put out there or be accountable for. So I have been recording episodes a little bit closer together, but this morning, every single page of my coloring book is fucking done.
Hell yeah.
Like done. I know
Now, hold on. Do you do just the coloring, or do you have like, do you shade?
So I designed the illustrations for this coloring book, and it's called Postcards from My Trip.
You're coloring in your own coloring book?
No, I'm just designing the book.
Oh, the actual book.
Yes. Like the actual pages.
Whoa.
And like this is partially why it's been taking me a little bit longer than I thought, because I was going to have the illustration on one side and then on the other side just a note, like with a little checklist. Okay. But instead, I made it the back of a postcard. So it looks like both sides of the postcard. So there's I'll put something up here so you guys can see.
Narrating this level of art, I'm like, what are you talking about?
So if this is the book.
Yes.
On this side, there's the image.
Yes.
That is like what would be the front of a postcard. Like if you bought one in New York City that said there's a Statue of Liberty or something. Yes. And then on the back is where you would write the address and like a note to your mommy, whatever, sending this postcard. Well, for me, we have the illustration. Yeah. And then on the other side, we have a note from me.
Oh,
about the thing.
That's great.
And it's a journey. And it takes you through like a year. So there's 12 pages.
Amazing.
And the reason why like fucking 6 episodes, I was like, it's done. It went to the editor and blah, 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 was because I did the note part. And then I was like, wait, this is a really fucking good idea. I'm going to add this part. It's not out yet. So I finished that part this morning and I'm really fucking proud of myself.
I love the idea of the first note was just like, yo, brother, just quit. It's a very like non-motivational. Dude, your dad was right. By 12, you're like, use the noose. Use it. Kick the chair out.
Use this coloring book to fucking slice your throat.
Yeah, paper cut your trachea.
A slow, painful, slightly irritating death.
Love it.
But that is my report, is that I finished the actual postcard part and the dedication. So I feel like it's whole. And I'm very excited for you guys to see it.
I love it. Good job. Congrats.
Thank you so much. And we're still looking for our new studio, but that is in the works and all that. So I just want to report on that too, because I know everybody asks. So thank you for even caring.
We all care. We love y'all.
Yes, that honestly means so much, because we're like in this world here and like it just doing the thing. You know what I mean?
It's just doing the thing.
Yeah,
that's all it is. That's the beauty of it.
Very happy about it. I'm in a good place. So
fuck yeah.
Happy. And is there anything you want to put out there? Manifest, start, be accountable for.
Sure. I'm really bad about listening to my sets.
Yeah.
Really bad about it. I need to. Because in one listen to a set, you gain so much info, but I just hate listening to it. I hate the truth. I hate the truth of what was.
Yeah.
And you're scared of the truth, so you don't listen to your tapes. So I'm going to try to make sure I listen to at least one tape this week. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to text you about that.
I will do it. I will do it. I shall.
Amazing, dude. Okay, well let's just do plugs and wrap this up. Irish, do you have anything to plug away?
Just it's Irish O'Neill on all social media.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, where can we find you? You're doing shows all the time. You're touring and everything.
We're doing it. We're making it happen slowly. At Usama Stands Up, USAMA Stands Up. Follow the podcast that I do, Why Do Guys, with Dylan Palladino, and Mango Bae with my besties, Prana.
Yeah, I submitted a question for Why Do Guys.
Oh, yes.
It was, why do guys fart in every room that they enter? Like, they have to do it.
Once you get comfortable, it's just a constant sharding experience.
I don't understand.
Yeah. And Irish looks like he has some gnarly farts.
Don't go on a long car ride with him.
Long car. He's just shitting his pants. And then that's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Just kidding. I love you and your smelly farts. But
How's the shit? Like a rock.
it's just Matthew McConaughey.
That's all
Smell that?
That's all I smell that. Oh my God. That's shit.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Thank you guys for listening to this another beautiful episode of House. So please subscribe, like, leave a comment, give us a review. Follow me, Ani_Moush, on Instagram, Twitter, and now TikTok. And now TikTok. I made a new one so that I'm actually involved. That was an accountability thing that I was going to do. Was fucking start my TikTok over, which I did. So,
Amazing.
check out animushmedia.com. Check out toomuchcontent.live.
I just want to say one last thing. There's a riff I was going to say that time was off.
Tell me.
Matthew McConaughey smelling Irishish sits, and he's saying, not right, not right, not right. And I wish I was quicker. And I'm sorry. And I'll just go.
It's like he drives off and see you later.
Irish.
See you later, host.